Have you ever woken up, looked in the mirror, and wondered when exactly time started moving so fast? One day you're chasing toddlers around the living room, and the next your knees creak like old floorboards and your calendar's filled with doctor visits. But here's a quiet truth many people overlook. Aging doesn't mean fading. It can mean flourishing. You've probably seen those remarkable people, maybe someone in your neighborhood or even on TV, who seem to glow with energy well into their 70s, 80s, even 90s. They're not just surviving, they're thriving. What's their secret? It's not expensive treatments or a magic pill. It often comes down to small, powerful daily habits, many of which you've probably never even heard of. In this video, we're diving into 5 lesser-known habits that can revolutionize how you age. These aren't the tired cliches like drink water or go for a walk, though those are great. These are the kind of overlooked practical actions that can lift your spirits, rewire your brain, and revitalize your body without needing a gym membership or a shelf full of supplements. Let's get started with the first habit, one that might sound simple, but holds surprising power. Habit #1, schedule joy appointments like you would a doctor visit. Yes, you heard that right. Book joy into your calendar. Think about this. When was the last time you laughed until your belly hurt? Or lost track of time doing something that made you feel completely alive? The older we get, the more our schedules get filled with obligations, checkups, errands, family commitments. But where is joy on that list? Research shows that actively planning small doses of pleasure boosts serotonin, reduces stress, and can even improve immune function. In fact, the Mayo Clinic found that joyful activities, especially those involving creativity or social interaction, can delay cognitive decline and lift symptoms of depression. So what does this look like in real life? Maybe every Wednesday afternoon becomes your sacred time to tend the garden, not just out of necessity, but to soak in the scent of fresh soil and hear the bees buzzing. Maybe Fridays are for meeting an old friend for tea, telling stories that make you both forget about the ache in your knees. Maybe it's as simple as painting, singing, or dancing around the kitchen to a song you loved in your 20s. Treat these moments not as a luxury, but as medicine. Here's the key. Don't wait for joy to just happen. Put it on the calendar. Write it down. Guard it fiercely. Because when you make room for joy, you're telling your brain and body, I'm still here. I still matter. Life is still beautiful. And if you ever feel silly prioritizing joy, remember this. Joy isn't childish, it's vital. It's what keeps the light in your eyes and the bounce in your step. You deserve to feel that light no matter your age. Habit #2, do a mind sweep every night before bed. We all know how important sleep is, but what if I told you the quality of your sleep might be wrecked by something most people ignore? It's not the coffee you had at 4 p.m. or even the occasional late-night TV binge. It's mental clutter. Have you ever laid in bed and suddenly remembered you need to refill a prescription, call your nephew back, or find where you left that old insurance paper? That never-ending list rattling in your brain is called an open loop. These loops keep your mind spinning and your body tense, even when your head hits the pillow. Enter the mind sweep. This simple practice, barely taking 5-10 minutes, can transform your sleep. Here's how it works. Before bed, grab a notebook or piece of paper. Sit down somewhere quiet. Then just start writing. Everything floating around in your mind. It doesn't have to be organized. It can be buy milk, feeling lonely, dentist bill, or even worried about Sally's health. Let it all pour out like water from a bucket. What you're doing is offloading, not solving. You're giving your brain permission to let go for the night. You're saying, I've captured this. I'll deal with it tomorrow. Now it's time to rest. This simple ritual doesn't just improve sleep. Over time, it helps clear mental fog, reduce anxiety, and give you a sense of control over your days. One 74-year-old viewer recently told me, I've done this every night since you suggested it, and I finally wake up without that heaviness in my chest. It's like I'm giving my mind a clean slate every evening. You don't need to buy a fancy journal or follow any strict format. A sticky note and a pencil will do. The power isn't in how it looks. It's in the habit of clearing out the clutter. Now imagine coupling this with your joy appointment. You wake up clear, light, and with something to look forward to. That's not just aging, that's living. Let's take a breath together for a second. If you've made it this far, it means something inside you still believes in growth, that it's never too late to feel better, laugh louder, and live fuller. And that belief alone, it's one of your greatest strengths. Now, we've talked about scheduling joy and clearing the mind at night, but what about the moments in between? The truth is, it's often the tiny, overlooked habits that quietly shape our days and ultimately define how we age. Not the big transformations, not the 30-day challenges, just simple, repeatable shifts that breathe energy back into your life. Let's dive into a third habit that might surprise you, not because it's difficult, but because it's so easy to miss. Habit #3, change the way you breathe. On-purpose breathing. It's something we do more than 20,000 times a day, and yet, most of us never give it a second thought. But here's the kicker. How you breathe might be stealing your energy, your clarity, even your mood. You see, as we age, shallow chest breathing becomes more common. Stress, poor posture, and even habit push us into taking short, tight breaths that barely fill our lungs. The result? Less oxygen reaching your brain, tension building in your body, and a general feeling of fatigue or anxiety you can't quite explain. But what if I told you that just 5 minutes of intentional breathing could reset your entire system? There's a method called box breathing, used by athletes, teachers, even military personnel, to calm the nervous system and re-energize the body. You don't need to be a Navy SEAL to do it. Here's how it works. Inhale for a count of 4. Hold your breath for 4. Exhale for 4. Pause for 4. Repeat. Just like the 4 sides of a box. Try it right now with me, just once. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4. Feel that? That's your body shifting out of stress and into restoration. That's your heart rate calming down, your blood pressure balancing, your mind saying, I've got this. Make this a daily habit, when you wake up, before meals, or as a bedtime ritual. It's especially powerful before moments of tension, like family visits or health appointments. It's free, it's simple, and it works. There's also another breathing trick I recommend, especially if you've been feeling forgetful or foggy. Nasal breathing. Studies show that breathing through your nose instead of your mouth improves memory, sleep quality, and immune response. Think of it as nature's way of sharpening the brain without popping a single pill. Your breath is your anchor. It's the one thing you carry with you everywhere. Treat it like the life-giving power it truly is. And now, let's talk about a habit that doesn't happen in your mind or lungs, but in your environment. Habit #4. Curate your space, like it's a mirror of your health. This one's going to hit close to home, literally. Look around the room you're in right now. Does it feel calm? Inviting? Does it reflect the version of you that you want to be in your golden years? Or does it feel heavy, maybe even cluttered with things that no longer serve you? Most people never realize this, but the environment you live in speaks directly to your body and brain. A cluttered home can increase cortisol, your stress hormone, disrupt sleep, and drain your mental energy. On the flip side, a well-lit, warm, and organized space can make you feel more in control, more focused, and even more inspired to move, eat well, or connect with others. And no, you don't need to hire a designer or renovate anything. This is about making small edits to support your health. Start by asking yourself this: what in your space makes you smile? Maybe it's an old photograph, a handmade quilt, a vase that belonged to your mother. Keep those things visible. Let your eyes land on beauty each day. Then ask the opposite. What feels heavy? Maybe it's a stack of unread mail, a chair buried under clothes, that cabinet of expired medicine. Set a timer for 10 minutes and tackle just one thing. You don't have to Marie Kondo your life. Just clear a little space so your mind can breathe. And here's a tip most people miss: lighting. Natural light boosts serotonin and improves sleep-wake cycles, especially for older adults. If you can, open your blinds first thing in the morning. Sit by the window with your tea. Let the light touch your skin. It's a natural antidepressant, free and potent. If mobility is a concern, Design your space for ease. Keep things within reach. Add a sturdy chair near the window. Use rugs to add warmth, but make sure they don't trip you up. Make your home not just safe, but soul-nourishing. There's a beautiful quote by William Morris. Have nothing in your houses that you do not know to be useful or believe to be beautiful. That applies more as we age than ever before. Your space should feel like a quiet partner in your well-being, nudging you gently toward better days. And here's the beautiful part. When you breathe more deeply and live in a space that feels good, everything starts to shift. You sleep better. You move more. You even interact with others from a place of calm and confidence. These aren't just lifestyle tips. They're tools to help you thrive in your 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond. You've come this far with me, and I want you to pause for a moment and recognize something powerful. You are the kind of person who is still reaching, still learning, still growing. That in itself is rare, and it's beautiful. We've talked about creating space for joy, clearing the mind, breathing with intention, and shaping your environment. Now, we arrive at the final golden habit, the one that ties all the others together and makes them sustainable. It's not flashy, it's not complicated, but it's the key that opens the door to lasting energy, clarity, and purpose. Habit #5. Speak to yourself like someone you deeply love. Let me ask you something personal. How do you speak to yourself when you forget something? When you look in the mirror and notice another wrinkle? When your knees ache or your memory slips? For many older adults, especially those who were raised to be tough or not complain, the internal voice becomes harsh with age. Phrases like, "I'm useless now," "I'm just a burden," or "I hate how I look" start to loop in our minds like a broken record. But here's the truth. Your body may be aging, but your spirit is still listening. And how you speak to yourself directly affects your health. Studies from UCLA and Harvard show that self-compassion, actively practicing kind, understanding inner dialogue, can lower blood pressure, reduce chronic inflammation, improve immune response, and even slow the rate of cognitive decline. It's not just a feel-good idea, it's neuroscience. Think about it. If a grandchild came to you, worried about getting older or making mistakes, would you say, "Well, you're just falling apart"? Of course not. You'd be gentle. You'd say, "You're still valuable. You're still loved. It's okay to have hard days." So why not offer yourself the same grace? Start here. Catch your inner critic. Each time you hear that harsh voice, pause and gently ask, "Would I say this to someone I love?" If the answer is no, change it. Instead of, "I'm so forgetful lately," try, "My brain's been busy. It's okay to need a reminder." Instead of, "I hate how I look," say, "This face has smiled, cried, and seen decades of life. It's earned every line." Instead of, "I'm just old," try, "I'm still here. I still have time." Here's a small but powerful daily practice. Every morning, look in the mirror, really look, and say 3 kind things to yourself out loud. It might feel strange at first, even silly. Do it anyway. Say, "I'm proud of how far I've come. I am allowed to take up space. I still have a lot to give." Do this for 30 days and watch what happens, not just in your mood, but in your energy, your relationships, and even your body. Because when your inner world softens, everything else follows. Now, as we wrap up, I want to offer you something even deeper than habits. I want to offer you a reminder, a truth that's easy to forget in a world obsessed with youth. Your value does not expire with age. Your wisdom, your stories, your presence, they matter more now than ever. Every line on your face is a poem. Every scar is a survival story. Every quiet moment of reflection is a form of sacred wisdom. These 5 habits aren't just about health. They're about reclaiming a life that feels good to live. A life where joy isn't an afterthought, where rest is honored, where breath is intentional, where your space supports you, and where your inner voice becomes your greatest ally, not your loudest enemy. Aging well doesn't mean pretending to be young again. It means becoming more you than you've ever been, boldly, gently, and fully alive. So here's your invitation. Start today. Don't wait for the perfect moment or the perfect body or the perfect time. Choose one of these 5 habits, Just one, and try it for the next 7 days. Watch how the small things ripple out into big change, and when you begin to feel better, even just a little, share it. Tell a friend, a neighbor, a sibling. You never know who else is quietly struggling, thinking they're too old to start fresh. You're not too late. You are not too tired. You are not done. Your next chapter can be your best one yet. So tell me, what habit are you going to start with today? Leave it in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And if this video lit even a tiny spark inside you, consider liking and subscribing. It helps us reach more amazing people just like you. Until next time, take a deep breath, smile at your reflection, and remember this: you are aging, but you are also awakening, and that, my friend, is golden.